Prosecutors say 7 men didn't smash a vault, rush a teller, or tunnel into a bank. They allegedly walked up to ordinary ATMs, opened them, loaded malware, and made the machines push out cash on command. That detail matters because this story looks like an old-school robbery, but investigators describe something colder. A cybercrime with a screwdriver, a USB device, and a travel schedule. And when the federal crackdown hit in 2026, the allegations stretched across multiple states, multiple crews, and millions of dollars in losses. According to federal charging documents, the case centered on crews accused of jackpotting ATMs. That means forcing a machine to dispense cash outside normal banking instructions. Not with a customer withdrawal, not with a stolen debit card, with malware allegedly installed directly on the machine. One of the names that surfaced in reporting around the 2026 crackdown was Demetris Robertson, identified by federal prosecutors as part of an alleged jackpotting crew. Investigators say groups like this moved fast, hit hard, and treated ATMs less like bank equipment and more like vending machines filled with cash. That's the part I can't shake. An object most people trust without thinking became the final stage of a cyber attack. This is where the case gets its own identity. We've all heard the remote hacker version of cybercrime. A dark room, a keyboard, a data breach. This was different. The allegation here was cyber-physical. Somebody had to be there. Somebody had to touch the machine. Somebody had to know exactly when to leave. The basic pattern, according to court filings and law enforcement alerts, was brutally practical. The crews allegedly targeted standalone or retail location ATMs. They would get physical access to the cabinet. Then, investigators say they used malicious software to override normal commands and trigger a flood of cash. The machine still worked. It just stopped obeying the bank. And if that sounds simple, that's exactly why it was dangerous. A dramatic cybercrime doesn't always look sophisticated from 10 feet away. Sometimes, it looks like a man crouching by a machine in a convenience store at 2:14 in the morning while fluorescent lights buzz overhead. So let me ask you this. What was worse in a case like this? Weak physical security around the ATM? Or the fact that a malware crew could allegedly turn that weakness into instant cash? Drop your take in the comments. Law enforcement bulletins have warned about jackpotting for years. The Secret Service and FBI both treated it as a serious trend well before this 2026 roundup. One public alert from the Secret Service issued in 2018 warned that organized criminal groups were targeting ATMs across the United States with coordinated cash-out operations. So the crackdown didn't come out of nowhere. It came after a long trail of machines, withdrawals, surveillance footage, rented cars, hotel stays, and cash disappearing in bursts. When I read through reporting on these crews, one thing stood out. This wasn't just malware, it was logistics. You need transportation, you need timing. You need people willing to stand in front of a machine and collect bills in real space, under real cameras, in real neighborhoods. That makes this kind of cybercrime feel strangely intimate. The evidence isn't only in code, it's in parking lots, gas stations, motel receipts, and highway toll records. The Department of Justice described the 2026 case as an organized operation tied to ATM jackpotting and cash theft. Prosecutors alleged the crews hit machines in several states and stole millions of dollars. In one account from federal investigators, teams would travel, identify target machines, open them, deploy the malicious tool, and pull out cash rapidly before moving on. Not elegant. Effective. a reason this matters beyond the headline. An ATM feels like the most physical part of banking. Steel cabinet, locked door, camera overhead, printed receipt in your hand. People look at that and assume safety lives in the metal. Cases like this suggest the opposite. The machine is only as strong as the trust chain behind it. Software maintenance, service access, network design, vendor controls, and the simple question of who can open the box. That's my central takeaway here. Jackpotting exposes the lie that cybercrime is always remote. Sometimes the keyboard is just the first tool. The last tool is a hand reaching into the mouth of an ATM while it spits out 20s. Investigators say the alleged crews were disciplined about speed. They didn't want long sessions. They wanted fast entry, a burst of forced cash dispensing, and a clean exit before police or security could react. Think about how unnerving that is from the bank's side. Not a gradual fraud pattern over weeks. A machine goes from normal to bleeding cash in minutes. A store clerk hears a strange mechanical rhythm. A customer in the parking lot sees bills piling up. A patrol officer arrives to find an ATM door ajar and the money already gone. That's the human scale version of an abstract loss chart. And there's another layer. These operations allegedly depended on the contradiction that made them so effective. High-tech crime carried out with low-tech presence. No cinematic satellite uplink, no giant wall of monitors, just a route, a crew, some hardware, and enough confidence to stand under a camera while stealing from a machine designed to be trusted. If this detail hit you as hard as it hit me when I dug into the case, that the cyber attack ended with a literal pile of cash on the floor, leave a like. This is one of those crimes more people should know exists. I also think this case says something uncomfortable about how organizations picture risk. They spend a lot of time imagining the remote attacker. Fewer imagine the person who arrives with technical knowledge and physical access at the exact same time. In my view, that blind spot is what made jackpotting so persistent, not because the method was magical, because it sat between departments. Part cybersecurity, part physical security, part fraud, part organized retail-style theft. And when a crime lives in the cracks between teams, it survives longer than it should. But the 2026 crackdown suggests something bigger than a few bold thefts. According to prosecutors, this wasn't just a string of isolated ATM hits. It was an allegedly coordinated crew structure. People traveling, cashing out, and operating like a field team in a cybercrime supply chain. That changes the picture. Because once you stop seeing this as an ATM got hit and start seeing it as a mobile malware operation with runners, the entire case gets darker. The machine is only the end point. The real system is the people behind it. If you like understanding cybercrime from this inside angle, where the digital method meets the real-world crime scene, subscribe. I cover a new case here every week. And that's where federal pressure mattered. Once investigators begin linking travel records, surveillance images, financial movement, and repeated attack patterns, the case stops looking like random theft and starts looking like conspiracy. The alleged jackpotting crews may have treated each ATM as a separate score. Prosecutors treated the pattern as an organization. Federal reporting around the crackdown described arrests and charges tied to multi-million-dollar losses. Reuters reported in 2026 that 7 men were charged in an ATM jackpotting scheme that allegedly stole millions from cash machines across the United States. That number matters not just because of the money, but because it signals scale. 7 accused men can hit far more than 7 machines when the operation is mobile, repeatable, and built around cash collection. And there's a quieter victim here. It's not only the bank. It's the clerk who has to answer police questions at dawn. It's the armored car team arriving at a machine that should be full and finding it gutted. It's the neighborhood customer who walks up to the ATM the next morning, needs rent money, and finds an out-of-service screen taped over the slot. Cybercrime always sounds abstract until it interrupts somebody's Tuesday. Already, banks and ATM operators have spent years responding with stronger cabinet locks, software controls, application whitelisting, service access restrictions, and monitoring for suspicious machine behavior. I'm keeping that high level on purpose because the point here isn't how to do it. The point is how a crime that looked almost crude managed to exploit a modern financial blind spot. And maybe that's the lasting lesson from the 2026 crackdown. The most revealing cybercrimes are often the ones that collapse our categories. Was this hacking? Yes, according to prosecutors. Was it theft? Obviously. Was it organized fieldwork? Also yes. That overlap is the story. A lot of people still imagine cybercrime as invisible, but this one allegedly had footsteps. It had trunk space. It had motel keys. It had gloved hands inside a machine on a dark retail strip, while the bank's own hardware did the stealing. And if 7 accused men could allegedly do that across the United States, the real question is not whether ATMs are old technology. It's how many safe machines in our daily lives are only one access point away from becoming obedient to the wrong person. If true crime tech is your thing, subscribe and turn on the bell. Here, the details come from indictments, reporting, and law enforcement records, not just headlines. Next time, I'll bring you another case where the digital trail ends in a very physical crime scene.